All right, let's get right into it. Look, we live in a world that feels like it's designed to create chaos and anxiety, right? It's constantly pulling your attention in a million different directions. And for a lot of us, frustration just feels like the default setting. But today, we're not just talking about coping with that chaos. We're talking about completely rebuilding your mind's operating system to make you basically unshakable. Just think about how your day goes. A notification buzzes on your phone, and without even thinking, you react. It's automatic. A tiny piece of your focus just gone. Or maybe you're driving. Some guy just swerves into your lane, no signal. And boom, you react. That flash of anger, that jolt of stress. It's like we're puppets, pulled by strings we don't even see. We've been conditioned to just react all day long. So this brings us to the big question, the one we really have to ask ourselves. Are you actually driving, or are you just a passenger inside your own head, getting thrown around by every little thing that happens? It's a tough question for sure, but that's where this whole journey starts. And here's the thing, the problem isn't you. It's your programming. Our mental software is basically obsolete. It was built for a much, much simpler world, one focused on physical survival. But now, it's trying to run in this age of insane digital complexity, and it's constantly crashing. That mismatch, that's the root of so much of our modern anxiety. So what if there was a different way? A new operating system for your mind that doesn't crash under pressure? Well, there is. And it's not some new fad. It's a battle-tested code that's been around for 2,000 years, and it was designed for one thing: to build a mind that cannot be broken. We're talking about Stoicism, but listen, forget the old statues and the togas. This is not a history lesson. Think of this as a practical, no-nonsense training manual for right now, for the 21st century. And it all boils down to 3 fundamental pillars. Okay, so pillar 1, this is the absolute bedrock of it all. It's a beautifully simple filter for reality called the circle of control. The Stoics had this radical idea. They said that everything in the entire universe, every problem, every worry, every event, can be sorted into just 2 simple categories. That's it, just 2. And here they are. On the left, you've got everything you have zero control over. The traffic, what other people think of you, the economy, the past, all of it. The untrained mind wastes almost all of its energy swimming in this circle of frustration. But now look to the right. The list of what you can control is much shorter, but it's the only list that actually matters. Your judgments, your actions, your attitude, and your effort. Trying to control that stuff on the left, it's like trying to stop a hurricane by yelling at the clouds. It's not just pointless, it's a kind of self-inflicted madness. It's where all our mental energy goes to die. So the practice is this. You have to become a mental surgeon. For every single thing that bothers you, you ask one simple question. Is this inside my control? If the answer is no, you have to learn to let it go. You don't fight reality. Instead, you shift 100% of your focus back to the things you can do something about. So once we've used that first filter to cut away all the noise, what do we do with what's left? Well, that brings us to pillar 2, which is all about how we interpret reality. This is the power of perception. This right here, this might be the single most powerful idea in all of Stoicism. See, no event is actually good or bad. It just is. It's a neutral fact. What makes it a disaster or an opportunity is the story we immediately tell ourselves about it. It's our judgment. Let's use a real-world example, something heavy like getting laid off. The raw, objective, neutral fact of the matter is simply this. I no longer work at this company. That's it. Notice there's no emotion there. It's just information. And this shows the fork in the road every mind faces. The reactive mind, the default software, immediately jumps to the left. This is a disaster. I'm a total failure. And that thought, it leads straight to panic and doing nothing. But the trained, stoic mind, it pauses. It chooses the judgment on the right. Okay, this is unexpected. It accepts the fact and then immediately pivots to what it can control. The event was the same. The judgment created 2 totally different realities. And this is the key takeaway. You are not your first thought. You are not that initial wave of emotion. You are the consciousness behind all of that, the silent observer. And you have the incredible power to take a step back and choose the judgment that serves you, the one that gives you power, instead of the one that makes you a victim. Okay, so we've learned to filter reality and we've learned to choose our perception of it.
Now it's time for pillar 3. This is where the philosophy turns into action. This is where we learn to see that the obstacle is the way. Our modern world is obsessed with comfort, right? We think friction and difficulty are bad things to be avoided at all costs. But the Stoics knew a fundamental truth of nature. Growth only happens through tension. Your muscles don't grow by lifting nothing. They need resistance. Your character is exactly the same way. It needs challenges to get stronger. So the trained mind learns how to reframe everything. That difficult project at work everyone's avoiding? That's not a burden. It's your one chance to really show what you can do. That angry client yelling at you? That's not a problem. It's a free training session in patience and communication. A huge economic crisis. That's not the end. It's the raw material you need to reinvent yourself. The obstacle isn't blocking your path. The obstacle is your path. So let's put it all together. This is your new operating system. Step 1 is the filter. Use the circle of control to ruthlessly ignore what you can't influence. Step 2 is the fortress. Build a mental fortress by choosing perceptions that empower you. And finally, step 3 is the action. See every obstacle as the fuel for your growth. And this is the transformation we're talking about. Before, you're like a leaf in the wind, reactive, a slave to every emotion, a victim of whatever happens. But after you install this new OS, you become the rock, unshakable, calm and controlled on the inside. You're no longer a victim of circumstance. You become the master of your response. The storm still comes, but now you are the thing the storm cannot move. In the end, it all comes down to this one simple truth. In our crazy modern world, you are being trained every single second of every single day. There is no neutral ground. Either you are actively, intentionally training your mind to be resilient and focused and free, or the world is training it for you to be anxious, distracted, and reactive. So the choice is yours. Train your mind, or it will train you.